bro, it was
So
mad. Like, did you
disrespectful.
see when Alonso?
OSP just looked like a heavyweight, and he looked like
Bro,
this is the
that
worst single
technique
leg.
it was dope. The guy literally fell on his back, but then just hooked that leg. It was like, let's go over him. That was so sweet. And he did it twice to show Cormier. I was like, no, I know what I'm doing, bro.
Hello, guys, and welcome back to the MMA Brothers podcast. My name is Daryl,
My name is Asher.
and we're talking UFC Fight Night, Overeem versus Sakai. We're gonna get started off with the Brian Kelleher fight. And guys, I always tell you, these cards where it's like not too hyped and it's like whatever is the best cards you're gonna watch. This proved my point once again. Maybe it's because there's not too much advertising into it, so we come in with low expectations. But once again, they undersold and over-delivered on the content. So I can get us started with the Brian Kelleher fight. It was Kelleher versus Ray Rodriguez. So what happened is, I think Ray Rodriguez took this fight on short notice, right? So Brian Kelleher, this is his fourth fight this year, which is ridiculous because I think he's going to fight again after this quick win. He might be going for 5 fights in 1 year. You know, I don't know if his contract doesn't have that much money, but God damn it, you deserve it.
He's getting paid $10K a fight. He's like, man, I need like at least $50K this year.
Yeah, like not to roast the fighters' pay. I'm just saying.
I'm just joking, obviously.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But so this fight starts off on the feed as usual. Rodriguez is putting the pressure on Brian Kelleher, gets him up against the cage. Kelleher's backing up the whole time. And then even the commentators were saying, seeing as Ray took this on short notice, he's going to be the more aggressive fighter coming out of the blocks because he knows he doesn't have the gas tank to go because he wasn't training for 3 rounds, right?
Right.
So and the commentators are also saying on Brian Kelleher's side, you want to also fight a high pace because you know he's eventually going to gas out, right? Mm-hmm. So Kelleher goes in to defend the double leg takedown. I think it was a double leg or single leg. And then Rodriguez shoots, picks him up, and they say, watch it for the guillotine because that's what Brian's known for. If you go for a takedown, he just pulls guard and goes right into a guillotine. So same thing happened, pulled it, and it was tight. It was like I think it was over the shoulder on one side and under the neck on the other, and it was a tight squeeze. He only lasted about 5-6 seconds in the choke, and he tapped. So it was literally, how long was this fight? Like 39 seconds. It's a very quick watch. It's very good, and it just shows you how dangerous it is to just go in there with your neck exposed on a takedown. Obviously, there's techniques that I'm not privy to that can help mitigate that risk, but if you're gonna go for a takedown on a guy who loves to shoot guillotines, like Charles Oliveira is a good example in the 155-pound division, and he did it to Kevin Lee. If you're not doing it absolutely spot on perfectly and you leave your neck open just for 1 second, he snatches it and then you're done. Because like once they sink in the guillotines, it's game over.
Yeah, it's the same thing with what's his name, Dustin Poirier. Like the only thing about Dustin Poirier is he does it way too much. Like he will go for the guillotine anytime somebody goes for a takedown. I was like, man, come on, Poirier, like gotta let it go. Because in the fight against who was it, the New Zealand dude, Hooker. Against Hooker, the guy is just going for bare guillotines. I'm like, bro, just let it go, man. Just forget the guillotine. Just fight, please. Just stop the takedown. But yeah, Kelleher, the guy is really, really good in the feet. Like you've seen his previous fights. Like Daryl said, he's fought a lot this year. And you know, with this whole situation with the pandemic, you know, there's fighters have just been fighting so often, the ones in America. So yeah, good job for Kelleher. I'm not gonna break anything down because he got the 50K bonus, so he's definitely made a lot of money in this fight. So he got his win bonus and his show money, so he just got paid. And yeah, I enjoy watching his fights, and I'm sure he's gonna get at least one more fight in before the end of the year. So good for Kelleher. So we're going to move on to the next fight of the night, which was Andre Muniz versus Bartosz Fabinski. I almost said Fabianski. That's a soccer goalkeeper. But yeah, so Andre Muniz, I don't even think he landed anything. Oh, yeah, he did. There was some clinch strikes. It was a first-round finish, kind of similar to the Brian fight. Bartosz
This is the double leg takedown one.
Yeah. So Bartosz was trying to take down Andre Muniz, and then they were by the fence, you know, grappling and trying to get that takedown. And then somehow, I guess Andre Muniz was able to grab Bartos's neck, and then he almost got that guillotine.
No. So he shot in for a takedown. On the way down, he pulled guard into a guillotine, right? And then
Yeah,
after he pulled guard into a guillotine, Farbinski warmed out of the guillotine. But when he did, Muniz threw up his legs and threw up a
and got an
triangle.
armbar, or is that was an
It was
armbar?
yeah, well, arm in triangle. I don't know.
Whatever it was,
I'll
yeah. Whatever it was obviously beautiful jujitsu because Andre was able to change because for a second I thought he was free. He's like, oh, he got out of the guillotine, so he's blessed. Remain in the guard, and then whoa, no, I got you, bruh. So and that literally the submission came like 10 seconds after like the failed guillotine attempt. So it was so fast. And it was really, really impressive and kind of feel bad obviously for Bartos because he came in super aggressive, then got submitted so quickly. But hey man, it's the UFC, you gotta be skilled everywhere.
No, and I don't even think it was an issue of not being skilled with Bartos. I just think even Cormier says it. When you're in that position where you just escaped a submission attempt, sometimes the best thing to do is get back on your feet and reset. Because
Mm,
the moment you come into like you, because you can do up kicks and everything,
mm.
but Bartos decided to stay on the ground, and Muniz is a very good jiu-jitsu practitioner. So you're going to a dangerous aspect. Yeah, you have top control, but with jiu-jitsu practitioners, they don't care if they're on their back, they're in full mount, they're in half guard. They could care less because they could do some serious damage to you in any position. Um, yeah, so it just teaches you when you go for the takedown, even if you secure it, you got to make sure that after you've taken him down, can you use the Von Glue choke? Can you threaten that just to help mitigate the risk of a guillotine? Because that's what Oven St. Preux does. If you going for a guillotine, shoulder pressure on the neck, squeeze in behind the head with the hands, hop over. I think it's on the left hand side or whatever side the choke is on. Hop over on that side, and then drive your shoulder into the guy's neck as you squeeze. That's also a very good guillotine defense mechanism. Threaten the Von Blue, and then you could potentially get out. But
Yeah, don't worry.
Bartos did well.
We're gonna talk about Von Flu chokes later in this.
No, I know. I was just
Yeah,
saying, I was just, giving a little bit of insight as to how
yeah,
you can defend some of these that I've seen, not to say
yeah.
that I practice jujitsu, but doing an eye test and listening to what the experts say in the commentary position, it's quite interesting seeing how quickly these transitions happen. And when they do happen, you literally have 1 second, because once he throws up his legs, it's either you decide to exit that position or you're in a scramble. You know what I mean? So great performance by Andre Muniz. You'd love to see him not get taken down, but I guess he loves being taken down. I don't know,
Yeah.
because he just was able to throw up the submissions.
Yeah. So the next fight we had Michel Pereira Lima versus Zalim Imadev. So the Brazilian versus the Russian, and yeah, Michel. You thought that after all of these guys won performance of the nights, by the way. Andre won one, and then Michel won one too. So Um, yeah, Michel Pereira, he did his spinning techniques like he usually does his disco dances and before the fight started. Like this time he didn't get gassed. Like even though like in my opinion he was more active and just throwing way more than Zalim was, he didn't get gassed, right? Um, and yeah, he did everything well. Like he hit him to the body many many times. And Zalim apparently is called Zabit 2.0. I did not see any of that, so I don't know what the Cormier or whoever who said that, John Anik. I don't know what they were referring to. I was like, bro, this guy is definitely not Zabit 2.0.
No, it was pissing me off. He's not throwing any strikes, bro. Like,
Yeah,
hey man,
he
let
was.
your freaking hands go.
I was like, where did that? Anyways, maybe in his other fights, he's just been nasty and he's a beast, and he just didn't show it in this fight. But yeah, Michel Pereira was pretty much doing anything he wanted. He was toying with him, he was taunting him, he was slapping him after like, hey, he was doing pretty much anything, flying off the cage, dancing in there, just beating him up. And then the submission came at the end of the fight. I don't think it was Herb Dean that was refereeing. I forget who the ref was, but the ref made a mistake because he didn't tap, right? Like he just went to like try and stop the choke. But I honestly think the choke was in and he was gonna have to tap eventually. But I guess maybe the way he reached for the arms, it looked like a tap for a second. But yeah, he won by submission and there was like 10 seconds left. So it is what it
I
is.
mean, I mean, he was gonna win the decision anyway. So like, if it
Yeah.
had gone to decision, Michelle's winning, so he can't really. And I get it. It's better to err on the side of caution as a referee, because we always criticize them for not stepping in too quick, for not stepping in fast enough. Then when they, if they see you in any sort of danger, you're the one who put yourself in that position. So you can't really blame the referee for that one. I'm not saying you were, but it's in those situations, especially if it's a choke and, you know, lack of oxygen to the brain is a big thing, right? So you want to make sure that you stop it earlier than later with those ones. So
Exactly. So yeah, good job, Michelle. Guy's a beast. His cardio held up this time, and I'm excited to see him fight again, hopefully soon. But yeah, next we got our boy OSP, Mr. Von
man,
Flu
I
St.
told you
Preux.
guys, if you want to bet money, don't listen to what I have to say. If I tell you someone's winning, bet opposite, you'll win almost every single time.
Bro, so Ovin St. Preux, I don't know if Alonso just needs to cut weight or Ovins is just like massive. I know like he's like kind of like the size of Jones. He's yoked, like he's a big 205er. But like these guys look like they were in two, like it looked like Alonso should be fighting at like 170 and OSP was like a heavyweight.
Not say one
Bro, it
second.
was
Don't be
mod. Like, did you
disrespectful.
see when Alonso
OSP just looked like a heavyweight and he looked like an 85er. That
bro,
I can agree with.
I know I'm obviously exaggerating, but like literally when they're by the fence and they're grappling each other, I was like, bro, Movements just looks way bigger. Like they don't even look like they belong in the same weight class. And the thing is, Alonso, even though he wasn't throwing a lot of strikes, literally, I guess it was
Oh, he
just
was hurting Ovens. He was hurting
yeah,
Ovens, man.
even just because it was a reach disadvantage and he's a smaller fighter, Ovens had like the kicking advantage, right? He's taller, he's longer and stuff, so he's just kicking him, keeping him at distance. But Alonso cracked Ovens quite a few times. I was surprised Ovens didn't get KO'd because like there's one shot I think after
Was it over
the
and left? Pretty sure it was
yeah,
over and left.
I think it was after the first round where he threw a couple strikes where I was just like, whoa, how did Ovens eat that? Because those two shots cracked him. But I guess his chin is held up. And then yeah, in the second round, Alonso was coming in hot after Ovens did his thing for like 2-3 minutes. And then yeah, Ovens just went and threw that left hook, which he's actually knocked a few people out doing that. And yeah, Alonso went down when he was coming with the pressure. So it was tough to see Mans get put out like that, but it is what it is. Vince finally got a dub on his record. It's been a while, Vince. It's been a while.
I mean, this is what I'm saying. This dude has so much potential. He's just the most shaky piece of crap. God damn it, man. Alonso, great showing. Obviously, you have a little bit of holes in your game. Like the blitz style works better at a lower level than a higher one. Even if you see like Yoel, Romero, and all these other guys, they can put it together very well. But majority of the time, if that's your only strategy is to just blitz dudes and run at them, it leaves you susceptible to getting KO'd. You look at Yoel versus what's his name? Paulo Costa, because Yoel fights in blitzes, right? You think of Robert Whitaker versus Adesanya. And there's also other examples that I'm forgetting right now, but when you lunge in like that, and when you just run at someone and then you do it, you could either end up like Ngannou versus Rosenstrike, where you take his head off, or you could end up getting KO'd just like Alonso did. But it was tough to watch, man, because he went belly down. After you got a hit, like you felt, and then good thing on Ovens for not following up with any strikes.
Yeah, that
It
was
was a,
that was dope.
it was a good performance. I think Alonso needs to work on his kicking game. That's one thing I noticed. He needs to really chop away at that lead leg because when you do have the reach disadvantage, you want to make sure you take away the bigger guy's movement, slow him down a bit. That way you can close the gap. And the way you do that is you obliterate his legs, especially
That's
his
true.
lead leg.
I think he should be fighting at 185. These guys are just way too
No
big for him.
way. Alonso's too big to cut down to 185, bro. I think that guy walks around probably 230,
That's the
235.
problem with some of these gaps in the divisions. Like, 185 to 205, that's 20 pounds. 185 to 170, that's 15. Then the rest are 10 pounds. So it's kind of a little bit unfair that the bigger dudes kind of have to stick to a weight class because then like they fight fighters that are much bigger or much smaller than them.
I don't
But
think so, though.
yeah,
What are
I
you
mean,
gonna
to me,
add?
this
Are
is
you gonna add a
extreme.
195-pound champ? Like that's
No, no, no. I'm
ridiculous,
not
man.
saying that they need to add more weight divisions, but I'm saying that it sucks for those people in those divisions because if your body doesn't, match like what the weight class size is, then you're
Yeah,
gonna have a
figure it out, man.
disadvantage, right? So, but
Yeah,
anyways, at the end of
figure
the
it out,
day,
buddy.
the skills pay the bills. So, like, unfortunately, you didn't pay the bills for Alonso this time, but yeah, OSP cashed in. Good for you, man. You got a performance of the night. Uncle Dana blessed you. Um, but yeah, that was a nice KO. So I think yeah, that's four straight performance of the nights, or five, or three, whatever. So last fight that we have on the card was Alistair Overeem versus Augusto Sakai. I was actually extremely shocked by how good Sakai was in this fight because I watched
Yeah,
his
he's nice.
highlights and like I watched him against Ivanov and all these people, and I thought he was like, dude, like Overeem's just gonna run through this guy. Like he's not that good. But yeah, Sakai was holding his own. I know he has a 15-1 MMA record, so he is experienced. It's just that I don't know, something about like the way he fought just didn't give me confidence he was gonna win. Because yeah, this is definitely like the biggest test that Sakai has had in terms of a guy with experience. I mean, Overeem has like over 50 MMA fights, but Overeem was, in my opinion, kind of losing. Like every round was kind of close, but like Overeem was throwing less, but landing at the same rate that Sakai was. Sakai was throwing more, but landing the same amount of strikes that Alistair was. So, um, yeah, this fight obviously it changed once Overeem started incorporating the takedowns. I think it was in the third round, the fourth round, and the fifth round. So those 3 rounds, he went for takedowns in each round. Got the ground and pound in the third. In the fourth round, same thing. Got the ground and pound, and then in the fifth round, Herb Dean stopped it after he saw 2, 3 elbows and a couple punches. Like, all right, that's enough. So, good job, Overeem. I think guys got like TKO records in 1999s, the 1990s, the 2000s, 2010s, and now the 20s or something like that. So man's just been knocking dudes out since the day you were born, you know. So yeah, Overeem's a beast, and yeah, this is his last title run. I think he's ranked 5th right now. So yeah, we'll see what's next for him. But yeah, it was a solid win for him.
Yeah, man. Alistair, he came in with the perfect game plan because one thing Sakai loves to do is he loves running forward and just throwing like nukes at your head, right? And then Alistair would just cover up, eat a few, tire him out, and then he noticed he's like, okay, dude, Sakai is not slowing down. All again, I'm waiting, I'm trying to get his timing. He's not slowing down. Alistair would return fire with some stabbing body kicks. You know the one I'm referring to, right? The one
Yeah,
that
yeah,
prods at
T,
yeah.
the
Yeah,
front T.
teep. That's what it's called. Yeah. So he's front teeping him. I think he threw a few leg kicks. I think a few high kicks. Alistair ate. His chin's holding up, which is I'm so surprised because the amount of damage this dude has taken for his chin to still hold up to some of the shots he was eating was incredible. But then he noticed, and we noticed. I was like, "Hey, dude, let's see what this guy's like on the ground." No one's really taking Augusta to those deep waters. And then you saw Cormier was having a heyday with his takedown offense because he's like,
Bro,
there's the
that
worst single
technique
leg.
was dope. The guy literally fell on his back, but then just hooked that leg. It was like, let's go over him. That was so sweet. And he did it twice to show Cormier. It's like, no, I know what I'm doing, bro. It may seem like a fluke, but he literally did the exact same
No,
thing.
no, no, no. He's just saying it wasn't the right technique. He wasn't saying it was a fluke. All Cormier was saying that it was just not the correct technique to execute a single leg takedown, which I agree with. But um, it got the job done, and we could clearly see that Augusto was not trying to get up because I think that when he tried, maybe if he thought if he tried to get up, he'd get clipped, and that's why. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's just who knows, maybe he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but there's some people in jiu-jitsu that are very like offensive jiu-jitsu guys and some people that are kind of like defensive or people that are kind of in between. I feel like Sakai, he may be great, he's Brazilian, so I'm sure his jiu-jitsu is nice, but I don't think he's good off of his back, right? So because yeah, when he was on the ground, like he didn't know what he was doing, or maybe he was exhausted because I remember the commentators were saying like Sakai should get up or Overeem should really take advantage of this with the ground and pound and stuff. But yeah, Overeem, he got the job done. Sakai was nothing, didn't have anything for him on the ground. And Sakai was a busier guy for the most of the fight. Overeem was throwing less. So people were saying that maybe it's just his experience. He's been in so many fights. So he knew that he would have more energy in the later rounds compared to Sakai because of his output. So yeah, smart game plan from Overeem. It was dope. I want to see him fight like
They were
maybe
saying
fought
that he should
Curtis
welcome
Blades.
John. They said that he should
Nah,
welcome
nah,
John Jones into the.
I don't want to see that. And Jones is not. Is Jones is only fighting for titles or Lesnar? He's not gonna fight Overeem just to say, "Oh, I'm just fighting Overeem for
They used to
jokes."
train
Like
together too. They used to
I
train
know
together.
there used to be training partners, but they know it's not gonna make that happen. I think, bro, the thing is, Overeem's fought everyone. That's I'm like trying to think like who should he fight? Derek Lewis. I don't think they fought each other. Overeem and Derek Lewis. So maybe that's the next fight for Overeem, and then the winner of that will get the title shot after Curtis Blades and John Jones, or maybe a Curtis Blades rematch. Actually, maybe that's what's next for Overeem. Curtis Blades
Who won?
rematch.
Who won the first fight?
Razor Blades won it. Like he beat him. Like he landed some nasty ground and pound with his elbows. I don't know if you remember when Overeem's blood
Oh
was.
yes, 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 yes,
Yeah,
yes. Oh God, yeah, yeah. No,
yeah.
ooh, I don't
So
need to see that again. I don't need to
So
see
yeah,
that again.
Overeem versus Blades maybe rematch. And then that person will be next in line after Jones and Ngannou get their title shots. So Overeem is gonna have to hang around, or if Lesnar comes in the picture too, then the winner of that one will be fourth in line for the title shot. So it looks like the belt is gonna be not for grabs for at least 2 years. So Overeem is gonna have to keep fighting and winning if he wants to get that strap because yeah, it's not looking too great for him, his chances.
Yeah, no. I mean, well, we can wrap this up here. Augusto Sakai is one for the future. I think he's going to be a staple in the heavyweight division based off of that showing. I was very impressed with what I saw. He obviously has a few holes in his game, as everyone does. There's always a chance to get better. I just think he's got to work on getting up from his back and his. And one thing that we forgot to mention, that up kick that Overeem ate with like the dude's heel, and it sounded like the one that James Vick got cracked with.
Are you talking about the one from Travis Brown?
No, against Sakai. Sakai threw up like a disgusting like heel kick to his dome, and he just ate it. I was like,
Overeem
like
is a
that
beast,
swelling
man.
on that
Oh, the
swelling on
side of his
Overeem's side of
face.
his face. It was already
Oh,
there.
yeah, it
Then he
was a
got
head
heel
kick.
kicked again. Then he got
Yeah.
heel kicked again right there, and it blew up even more. I was like,
Mhm.
holy crap! I thought he was gonna go out,
Yeah.
because that was a hard kick. But anyways, guys, let us know what you guys thought. I was very impressed with what I saw, as even Dana was. Lots of performance of the nights and lots of bonuses given out because it was a very, very entertaining card. Let us know what you guys think is in store for Overeem and Sakai next, and the other fighters who are on the card. Once again, like, comment, subscribe on Instagram and everything. MMA Brothers Pod. Thank you guys so much for listening. Loving the engagement still on our page, and we appreciate you guys. Thank you.
See you guys.